This is J.G. Hertzler. You're listening to NX7062 Podcast.
And welcome to the 7062 Podcast. I am your host, Stephanie K. Good evening, good evening. Good evening to you, Magic Lasso. Look at you, 2 weeks in a row, and you're here, right as things are getting going, and I love that. Thank you so much, Lasso, for popping in. It is Monday night. It is April 4th. God, we're already in April. Mission Chicago is this weekend, the one that we weren't even 100% sure what was going to happen, how it was going to go off, and it's happening. And we all are so excited about it. They actually got a guest list together, nothing like wait until the last minute, so that mostly locals, I guess, are going to be the ones going, because I heard airline prices just went skyrocketed through the roof. Hello, Blue. So nice of you to join us too. Glad to see you here tonight. So let's talk a little bit about Picard. First of all, I have to correct myself. I don't know why I always call Dr. Girardi Alice. She looks more like an Alice than an Agnes, and I called her Alice last week, and that was wrong. But she is getting some really, really meaty bits and bobs, I guess, for her character this season. So incredible to watch. Hey, Podcat. So incredible. Hold on a second. I think, do you need help tonight, babe? Podcat isn't feeling 100%, so I think hey, War Dog and Robert, thanks so much for joining us. I was just saying, I think Podcat's going to chill out under the desk. I'm not sure he's going to pop into frame tonight. Anyway, so Picard. Agnes, just her exchanges with the Borg Queen are absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And now it looks like she's going to be haunted by the Borg Queen, because she, killed the Borg Queen. But as we all know, Borg Queens don't just die. And speaking of the Borg Queen and how amazing she is, and the actress that portrayed her, who I meant to mention this last week, and if this is old news, I apologize, but I was so excited. The Borg Queen is being portrayed by Annie, I'm going to, Werching, I think is how you pronounce her last name. I don't know. All I know is she was actually in the Enterprise episode Oasis, the one she worked opposite Renee Auberjonois. She played Liana, one of only two real survivors of the crash of that ship. And of course, Trip was all, Trip. But yeah, so I was so excited to see an Enterprise actress back in Star Trek, because God knows you don't usually see that. You see other actors from other shows, and she's doing such a spectacular job. I've said this, I think, after first seeing her in the first episode. I do not miss, God, and her name's on the tip of my tongue. Crap. The Borg Queen from First Contact, who I absolutely loved. Krieg. Anyway, God, I've met her. Was it Alice Krieg, I think? Anyway, hey, Jamie. So good to see you. So I think she's amazing. I don't miss Alice Krieg the way I thought it was, because she's amazing and she's from Enterprise. So all of that stuff makes me very happy. And for those people who were surmising that maybe this Watcher was part of Gary Seven's little group, I don't know. Looks like it's entirely possible. She did not deny it when he said, "Oh, Captain Kirk's Enterprise encountered Gary Seven and blah blah blah." So this could be it. We find out that the person whose path is changed is one of Picard's ancestors. So everything's getting, you know what? It is getting good. She answers the cat. You never know. Maybe she is. That would be really cool. Be like, yeah, I know Gary. I was his cat. That would be awesome. Good question. Good question. I wonder if they'll answer it. Let's see. War Dog. Only here for a work visit, although I will have. Oh, you're in the Carolinas. That's awesome, War Dog. Well, you can have dinner with Muhammad tomorrow. I am going to be seeing him this weekend, so have fun. That's amazing. I don't know if Muhammad's going to stop by. If he's out there watching, hi. He might pop in later. We all know that he might sneak in a comment here or there. Let's see what else is going on Picard. Issa Baronis was on last night or last episode. And that, I love how all the data stuff, all the song stuff just comes around in this big circle. Why well, yes and no. I mean, we're going to be there for 3 days, but things always get so busy at a convention. I have a friend who I've seen. I saw him at the technical term was the Sci-Fi Summit in New Jersey, which was Creations, a visit to New Jersey with Trek people. Saw him for like a friend of mine. Literally, we both knew where we were going. We bumped into each other like the last day. Gallifrey won. He lives in Connecticut. I live here in New Jersey. We were both out in LA for Gallifrey. Saw each other for 5 seconds because I caught him at a bad time. So just because 2 people are going to be at a convention over the same weekend does not necessarily mean they're going to see each other for more than 5 seconds. I hope so. We have our booth number. It's 2236. ReadPop has it up on their map. So yeah, I will be sharing all of that information with all of my friends. Let's get back to Issa. Issa, who we all know from the first season of Picard was an AI, played herself and her sister, played three. Sorry, she played 3. She played 3 AIs, and now you find out that the inspiration for her was one of Dr. Sung's ancestors. And I guess this character was the impetus for Sung going into genetics. So Issa is amazing. Issa is an amazing human being. I love how this portrayal of Sung family members brings back the insider joke of using the same actor for multiple family members. Yep, exactly. I think that they did that really well. I agree with you 100%. Issa is going to be in Chicago. I met her when I was out in LA. Can't wait to see her again. She is just an absolutely fantastic human and a fantastic actress. And like I said, I can't wait to reconnect with her. Leah Thompson had a time. She's like, I'll direct your first 2 episodes, but you got to put me in one. So Leah Thompson was in there for a minute, which was great. And a friend of mine told me this the other day. This is not a joke. This is Data's phone number from the show. Hey, Faith. It popped up on that card that Q3D printed and told Sung to call. If you call it, there is a voice message from John Delancey as Q. Kid you not. A friend of mine, one of my really good Trek buddies told me, and I was like, he's like, did you call? I'm like, yeah, they don't ask for your social security number or your first pet or anything else. It is actually just John Delancey doing some Q stuff. I guess they figured if they put a phone number up on the screen, people were going to call it anyway, so they absolutely made it worth everybody's while, and you can call that number after the show. Call the number after the show, and you'll hear a message from Q. It's kind of like remember, well, some of you out there remember Tommy Two-Tone and his one-hit wonder from the 80s, 8675309. Never gave you an area code, but my friend, but 867 is actually an exchange where I lived in State College, Pennsylvania. So of course when that song came out, people were all calling 8675309. There you go. Yeah, I'm going to leave that up there for a little bit, but totally, if you call it, there's a message from John Delancey, and it's freaking hysterical. It's great. Again, write it down now, and then call it after the show. All right, speaking of shows, Shuttlepod show. Of course, we got to talk about that. There you go. There you go. Your memory's far better than mine, War Dog. That's all I'm saying. So first thing I have to say about Shuttlepod Show. First thing, I showed y'all that I had the NX7062 ornament, or I keep doing that, the NX01. Not that I'm ashamed of my podcast, but NX01, NX7062. I have my little Christmas ornament, NX01. Then I noticed watching the Shuttlepod Show, they also have one of these. Theirs might be bigger than mine, I don't know, but this is the Mirror Universe ISS Enterprise from Inner Mirror Darkly, and they have one of these too. So all I need to do is get a stuffed beagle, and I will literally, I think, have all of their desk accoutrements. Will not be getting an avocado tree. I don't think an avocado tree would do very well in this climate, but I love how they have an avocado tree that they named after Wash from Firefly / Serenity, because he was an amazing character. If you're not watching the Shuttlepod Show, I've just completely lost you, but that's not my fault. You guys should all be watching Shuttlepod Show. This week's episode of Shuttlepod Show, again, no spoilers, but geez, they were picking on the theme again. David Livingston was their guest. He directed multiple Star Trek episodes across multiple series, and he actually directed Shuttlepod 1. He talked about how it was his idea to cut the Shuttlepod in half so he could get up, like basically get in their faces. And he talked about how bad he felt for Connor and Dominic, because Shuttlepod 1 was shot pre-CGI, as in one little piece of CGI would have cost as much as an entire episode. So they couldn't CGI that cold breath. And if you guys haven't heard the story yet, this is the only spoiler. They made it very cold for those boys while they were filming that. And they had to drink hot tea and whatever they could to make their breath actually come out visibly, because there was no way that they could make it work any other way. Anyway, so they talk a lot about that. They talk about the fact, and I love this, David Livingston said he was not a fan of Trek. He never really watched it, never got into it. And then he got hired. He actually directed some TNG stuff. So he was familiar with the movies, but he wasn't a fan. And I really kind of like that, because I thought, well, if you're not a fan, especially somebody that's a director, because I know when you're a director or when you're in the industry at all, I don't even think it matters how small, but if you're in the industry at all, you tend to watch television and movies a little differently than if you don't have that kind of background experience. So the fact that he didn't watch other episodes, he came in with this perspective, and he wasn't going to try and redo anything. He was going to read the script, and he was going to put his own directorial talents and his own directorial vision. He did his own directorial vision without any really preconceived notion, because he wasn't a Star Trek fan. So it's not like he had every episode of every TOS running through his head. So I thought that was great. I don't want to spoil any other stories, because there were some really interesting stories. Again, they weren't picking on the theme, but David didn't like it, so he lost points in my book for that. He's a Beatles fan, but he lost points in my book for not liking the theme and thinking it was out of place, and saying it was rehashed, because he actually knew that it came from he didn't specifically know this, but when it was called Faith of the Heart, and I've said this before, Faith of the Heart was the Rod Stewart version at the end of Patch Adams, and then they reworked it, gave it to Russell Watson, and it became Where My Heart Will Take Me, the theme to Enterprise. So that's how that worked with the theme. But yeah, when I see the guys, definitely going to be talking about stop busting on my theme. So get your stories ready. I know Lasso has some really cool stories. They are not necessarily Star Trek related, but Lasso is a convention veteran, same as I am, same as many of you out there. I know, Robert, you've been to so many. I have never been to Chicago before. When I first started looking, I was actually looking to see if I could afford to go a day or two early. At the time, I thought a friend of mine was going to be making his way out there, and he's a Chicago native. His family's still there, but that unfortunately wasn't good. That didn't work out anyway. So, and financially, I wasn't going to be able to do any earlier. The hotels are ridiculous. but I'm splitting a room. I'm staying at the Marriott that is attached, so that's going to be great. It's going to be so much easier because the weather's, you know, and so it'll be nice not to have to worry about taking a jacket or whatever and just walking over to the convention hall. The convention hall. The map has already been released. It is on there. It's on the app, which is not very helpful, just because it's really hard to make out. But it's on their website, and on the website you can zoom in. So I know that Lambda Quadrant's booth number is 2236. Jackie Cox is going to be there signing with us Saturday and Sunday. We're still finalizing her times because if anybody knows anything, Robert can attest to this. Cosplay, drag, all of that takes so much time to do and get right and be perfect. So we're working on the times with Jackie right now. She's at least going to be there Saturday and Sunday to sign. She's also got her show at 6:15 on Saturday night, and it's 6:15 to 7:45. So anybody who is going to be in Chicago, please come join us. It is on the schedule. It's on the app. Unfortunately, it's under panels. It's not a panel. It's a drag show, and it's one you do not want to miss. If you're a fan of drag, if you're a fan of Star Trek, if you're a fan of both, doesn't matter. Come one, come all. It's going to be amazing. We did start inviting some of the celebrities who've seemed excited, so we're hoping maybe we'll have some Discovery people joining us. Don't know, won't know until we get there, because it all obviously depends. The one thing that seems to be the norm for most conventions is they tend to schedule the talent for things and not tell them. So, the talent will show up and find out that they're doing a karaoke night, or they'll show up and find out they're doing some sort of quiz show. So we're hoping to get some of our disco buddies over there, but we don't know. But it is Star Trek themed. Jackie has spoiled me. She was the first drag queen I ever saw perform. So to see her perform and to see her perform as Star Trek, I was blown away. And there have been very few drag queens I've seen since that rise to that level. Although the drag queen that did win her season 12, she was the top 5 finalist. The drag queen that did win season 12 was freaking amazing. I do love her, and I follow her over social media. Jada Essence Hall. She's awesome too. So what else? Come on, guys. I want to hear about your, obviously my favorite convention stories usually revolve around karaoke. Because when Creation brought that in, that was like 2 of my favorite things in the world: science fiction, Star Trek, and karaoke. There are other conventions, New Jersey HorrorCon, which I usually work, but for some godforsaken reason, it seems like every convention in the world had to happen this weekend. I'm going to be in Chicago. New Jersey HorrorCon's happening down in Atlantic City, and Philadelphia's Fan Expo, which is what's replacing Wizard World, because Wizard World got sold to Fan Expo or went out of business, and Fan Expo, I don't know, whatever it is. Fan Expo's this weekend, and usually Wizard World was later. Wizard World was May. But they decided, oh, let's do it in April when the weather's really iffy and the city could be freaking cold and miserable. But hey, yeah, let's do this. So it seems like all these really cool conventions are happening this weekend. And of course, I had to pick the one that's in Chicago with Lambda Quadrant, Enterprise people, and a whole bunch of other Star Trek people. It was pretty much a no-brainer once the decision was made. Honestly, I'm not sure if I would have gone to the other 2. If I couldn't go to Chicago, I might have been too depressed. Let's see. What does Blue have to say? With the release of the Strange New Worlds trailer now, are we expecting anything to be announced at Chicago? I could think of. I'm not sure. I know Anson. I'm pretty sure there's a Strange New Worlds panel. I know. Yeah, because Anson's going to be there. They just announced Ethan Peck. There is a Strange New Worlds panel. So that is entirely possible. Now that this is the official Star Trek convention, if there are going to be announcements of any sort of fun Star Trek nature, it's going to happen. It's going to happen at ReedPop. It's going to happen in Chicago. So I'm lame and mainly go to cons, pay for the badge, and spend the whole time in the dealer's room or hallway taking pictures and talking to or making new friends. There's nothing lame about that. There's absolutely nothing lame about that. I am not a panel person. We're scheduling things for the Lambda Quadrant booth, and I'm like, um, enterprise panel. And Randy said, you think there's going to be anything new? And I said, I don't think. I've been to different versions of enterprise panels. I have not been to one that's got Connor, Dominic, and Anthony. So yes, it will be different, because when you mix that up, when you mix up who's going to be on the panels, then the chemistry changes and things change. And so I am absolutely looking forward to that. Outside that, I'm not sure I would really need to go to any panels, because I like hanging out in the dealer's room, talking to people, spending time at the table, talking to people, wandering around, talking to people. So I get that, babe. Then VTCs and NFL MiniCon, the VTCs may have spoiled me. Yes, that's entirely possible. For those of you that don't know, VTC, Virtual TrekCon, pretty sure cosplay and actor interactions will be the better part of. They are absolutely the better part of IRL and War Dog. I have done so many conventions 101 about exactly how to have the absolute best experience when you're talking to your favorite actors. Was when I went to the 25th anniversary, bought the gold passes, and had a meet and greet with all the cast members. That must have been absolutely amazing. Cannot think of anything that could have been better than that, to be honest. I was also part of the group Present Gene. This is a greeting card signed by everyone who attended the con. That was freaking yeah. That has to rank up there probably as a top 10 convention experience if you ask anybody. If anybody could have had that experience, it would make their not even top 10, if not number one, top 5. Aren't you supposed to go to panels, though? I'm about catching one of Mom and Noor's panels live sometime. You're not supposed to do anything at a convention that you don't want to do. I mean, I'm just not a panel person. I get too antsy thinking I'm missing things. I actually missed, I was working for Creation at the photo ops in Vegas, and if anybody's been to Vegas, the main stage, which is freaking like 2 football fields worth, the side of it where you can enter on the side goes down the one really large hallway, and so the side entrances to the hall were here, and I'm over here at photo ops, and all I hear is the crowd completely erupting, because that's when Patrick Stewart came out and announced Picard. Literally came out, announced Picard, and then he was gone. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, you do miss those little things, but I'm just really not a panel person. All right, Blue, never been to a con of any kind. Okay, I'm adverse to crowds, which is totally fair. Let's see. War Dog, actors are exciting and lovely, but meeting far-flung friends is also one of the best things about cons. Yes, Faith, absolutely agree. It is definitely a mix of talking to actors and seeing people. I don't see anybody from Lambda Quadrant unless we go to cons, so I absolutely love it. There are people that I don't see except when we go to cons, because we live up. My best friend lives in Seattle. I don't see her unless we're at a con. She would have loved to have come this weekend, but it wasn't going to work out. Back to Blue. Absolutely Blue. I understand. I'm not big on crowds either. Not to this, I don't have reactions like you may, but I mean, they annoy me, and I do have a problem if it gets too pressed. So I totally respect that. If I go one time to go to, are there any small ones you could suggest that could give me the experience without the terror? I mean, if you're looking Star Trek specific, there's one in Indianapolis called Starbase Indy. There are 2 in Maryland. One's called Farpoint and one's called Shore Leave. And they obviously, Farpoint and Shore Leave are definitely Trek themed names, but they're not specifically Trek conventions. Shore Leave is in July. Last I heard, Gates McFadden, I think Gates and Brent are scheduled for that one. At least the last time I checked, I haven't looked at Shore Leave in a while. That one's not bad because it's in the hotel it's in is all it's split. So like the vendors are on one level, and then you can go downstairs, and that's where all the panels are, and the panels are all in separate rooms. So the crowds don't intermingle. If you're shopping, you're upstairs. If you're paneling, you're downstairs. If you're getting an autograph, you're downstairs. Depending on who's there, it can get a little crowded. That's actually where I got Anthony Montgomery's autograph, and he was along the back. That was Far Point, same thing. He was on their back wall. They had like four high top bar tables set up for the actors to stand and sign. And that got a little, but the other thing, Blue, is I don't know where you are. So I don't know, what your travel's like. But yeah, the Far Point and Shore Leave are both in Hunt Valley, Maryland. They're kind of sister conventions. Starbase Indy, I don't think is terribly large, and that happens. The only problem with that one is it's the weekend of Thanksgiving usually. I think that's their date. So, yeah, Shore Leave, definitely Shore Leave. Like I said, and the other thing too is it's a small hotel. So if you can get a room in the hotel, and if you need a break from the crowd, you don't have to go any further than your room for a minute and catch your breath. Unlike Vegas, where if you need to catch your breath, that's over an hour's worth of leaving the floor to get back to your room. Even if you were staying in the Rio, just to get back to your room can take a good half an hour. Seems like, depending on the crowd situation. So yeah, if Maryland's good for you, I would definitely consider Shore Leave, which, guys, bear with me because it's probably, I knew it was going to be in the memory. Gotta love Google for remembering shit. Oh yeah, Brandon Roush is there this year. Oh, and what's her name? And Amy Garcia from Lucifer. Hold on a second, Blue. Ooh, that's weird. Oh wait, hold on, Blue. Here I am. There you go. There you go. That's Shore Leave's website. Brandon Roush is there. I do not like Brandon Roush. I've had 2 run-ins with him at conventions. Didn't impress me either time. Did not like him at all. Plus, he was a crappy Superman. My eternal quest is to meet folks IRL that I've met online around Star Trek and other fandoms. There you go. Oh, what, for Shore Leave? Yeah. Yeah, Shore Leave usually, I worked Shore Leave a couple years ago with John Glover. It was a lot of fun. They had a whole Smallville thing going on. I met I don't remember actors' names. I met Lois Lane. I met Supergirl and Iceman, who was also Jimmy Olsen or twin brothers. If my buddy Lasso is still out there, absolutely, my pleasure, Blue. Help me out here, Lasso. The guy that played Iceman has a twin brother, I think, and his twin brother's the one that was in Smallville. Anyway, the whole Smallville cast was really nice. I had a lot of fun doing that. But yeah, Shore Leave's great. The crowds are great. Everybody seemed really nice. So, and yeah, and it's a pretty diverse guest list. Actually, Creation is having a Lucifer convention in October. I think I applied to work that. I should probably reapply. So that would be cool because I just saw Amy Garcia is there, but I don't care about Amy Garcia. I want to meet Tom Ellis. Let's see. So what else do I know about Chicago? I'm just really excited. Don't know how much sightseeing I'm going to get to do, except I realized that O'Hare and my hotel, it's going to be a really, really long drive. It's going to be like 20 minutes according to Google, but it looks like it's going to be all city driving, so that'll be fun. So maybe that's how I'm going to get to see the city to and from the airport, because getting in a little after 10 o'clock on Thursday. Mohammed's here. Yeah, I've never been to Starbase Indy, but I just got the feeling that it was very small and intimate. I remember back in 2016, they actually had this thing where you could buy a ticket and have dinner with the different celebrities. Like there were 10 people to a table, and each celebrity had a table, and you could buy a ticket and have dinner with a celebrity. I think they just came back this year from COVID, and I didn't see anything about that, which is totally understandable considering it's November. But maybe they'll bring that back. So, Mohammed, we were talking about you before, so I don't know if you caught it. And like I said, you were just hiding out waiting to pounce in the comments. But Mohammed, do you have a panel at this weekend at Mission. Let's see. Mohammed, do you have a panel at Mission, at Star Trek Mission? It's 100,000 people, and yes, they do celebrity dinners until pandemic. Yeah, exactly. That would be so much fun, just to kind of sit down and that was actually also for the Voyager documentary. You had to donate. I don't even know how much you had to give to the documentary to get this, but one of the donation levels had the perk was dinner with a bunch of Star Trek people. And I believe off the top of my head, the three of them that, of course, that I know are Nicole, DeBoer, Connor, and Dominic. They brought in, if you want to talk about the family that Star Trek is, they're raising money for the Voyager documentary. And yes, there were perks that you could get that had Voyager actors, but Chase and Connor and Dominic and Nicole, there are just so many actors from across the other shows that came in to help. The other one that I really, really wanted to do was Vasquez Rocks. They're doing a Vasquez Rocks tour with Chase and Dominic, I think. Yes, you personally. Yay, doing 2 Friday afternoon. All right, you and me, 1 o'clock Enterprise panel. 1 o'clock Friday. That is the only time I have blocked out that I absolutely don't want to be at the booth. You and me, Mohammed, we're doing our Enterprise panel. Okay. Second. Oh, there you go. I would love to meet Dr. McDonald one of these days. That would be awesome. I'd love to have her on the show. So, Mohammed, maybe you can help me make that happen. That would be great. Yeah, I was drooling over that one too. I'm really tempted to just, we are the Seventh Rules after party. I always talk about them so nice. Hail to the Chat Pack 2.0. Just gonna ask Ryan if he needed any more chaperones on that one. Be like, I'll fly out to LA if you need an extra pair of hands to carry shit around, take pictures for social media. Sort of offer to do that, because I would absolutely love that. But I believe Larry Nemchik, his Trekland tour goes out there as well. If you're ever in LA, you should look up Larry and Trekland and take one of his Star Trek tours. He goes to like everything. Everything is feasible in a day, I think. He's going to be there this weekend too. See, that's the thing. Mohammed's going to be there. Larry's going to be there. Meeting the guys from Trek Geeks. Going to go say hi to all the cool people at Star Trek Wines. Let's see. I copied and made my podcast the Sunday 7th Rule after party for the month of April. Copyright infringement, Mohammed. How dare you? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I haven't sat down and watched any of these, but I will definitely have to do that. Go check out Mohammed. And I should have put if you look in the description, I have finally started advertising for all the people you should like and subscribe to on YouTube. So maybe I should add Mohammed to that list. I will add Mohammed to that list if Mohammed gets me Aaron McDonald for the show. I will add Mohammed and I'll tell everybody where to go. Right now, it's Lasso, 7th Rule, Virtual TrekCon, and of course, Shuttlepod Show. All the link, and Lambda Quadrant, of course. All the links to all the YouTubes are in the description on my YouTube, on this YouTube channel. So check all of those out, because like I said, there is so much love in the Star Trek universe to go around. I do not understand. I don't. Thanks, Mohammed. I don't understand why anybody would feel the need to diss another podcast. I don't care who's running it. I don't care if it's some of my favorite celebrities or it's just a really good fan podcast, because those happen too. I mean, Trek Geeks are amazing. They're the ones that put together John Billingsley's telethon, and I can't wait to meet them. Sci-Fi Sisters is another one. All of these amazing women up in New York that put that together. Women at Warp, which is one of the Roddenberry's podcasts. Again, just an amazing group of women talking about amazing things on their show. I like talking by myself or occasionally inviting a guest on, so I don't see myself ever partnering with anybody. I kind of like just hanging out here and yapping at you guys. Oh, Lasso, there you are. Any day. You know that. Thanks for doing it for me. I did catch that you were doing that for me too, so you inspired me to share to share for everybody that I'm fond of on YouTube. But as I sit here and I'm leaving the house probably somewhere around 6. Who's that? Who is that? Oh, okay. Hey, Dukes. Thought for a second it was Grogu, but it's not. Oh, okay. There you go. So I know I'm friends with Yvette. That's why I keep thinking, that's why I think Yvette. There you go. So half New York, half DC. Thanks, War Dog. Yeah. We're also hoping to see them. They're going to be in Chicago too. They are awesome. They actually opened John Billingsley's telethon. So they are some really, really awesome ladies. As I sit here and I watch the time tick by, you realize my hanging out with you guys is time that I can't spend packing. Which and I'm sitting here, I'm leaving. I've got tomorrow night and Wednesday night, and I've got cats to take care of. That's the one thing. You always think you have enough time to get all your shit together. And I'm packing. I'm like, I want to take this and this and this. Did I wash all of the clothes I want to wash? And everything's kind of scattered. And now it's just a matter of I need to find the right suitcase and carry on so that I don't have to check any luggage. Because I used to hate to, I'm always like, why would I want to bring all my crap on the plane when I can just check it? But you know what? To save $30 plus life hack people. Now, obviously, you can't do this with something that is obviously not a carry-on. But if you have luggage, if you have like a rollerboard that's really, really close and you take it to the gate and they think it's too big, they'll grab it and check it for you and you don't get charged if they take it away from you at the gate. Now, obviously, you can't take a huge ass suitcase and be like, oh, yeah, won't this fit in the overhead compartment? But when I went to LA, flying out, they decided that my luggage, my suitcase was too big. But I planned for that because it happened to me the last time I went to Vegas. They took my luggage on the way out. So I planned for that. And this time I locked it, even though I was hoping to take it on the plane with me. It had a TSA approved lock. So yeah, if you don't want to spend $30, if you're only going somewhere for a weekend and you don't want to spend $30 to pack a bag, take it with you. Take it to the gate if it's small, if you think it's small enough, and then if they take it from you and they pop it under the plane, you don't get charged. So that's my life hack for the night. To be able to walk off the plane and exit the airport without waiting forever at baggage claim. It is a dream, but I am such an overpacker. And then I'm also a worry wart. Like when it gets down to like the last couple of people and your luggage doesn't show up, that is the worst feeling in the world. Oh, there you go. Never fly international, so I'm a max baggage kind of traveler. That's a great life hack on the gate check. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I mean, obviously the goal, like Faye said, you're welcome. The goal is to get it on the plane so you can get off the plane, go to the bathroom, and just get out without having to stand around. But if you're packing something and you're on the fence about whether or not you have to check it, take it to the gate with you and see if they'll let you take it on the plane. Just have to remember that when you do that, and this is the first time I've ever had to do this, I had to buy all my hair products and make sure they were in, they're not in their actual bottles and jars. I had to move them into smaller little things so that they wouldn't get confiscated because I didn't want them to get confiscated, because there's nothing like showing up somewhere and not having your favorite hair products. Not that I didn't go to Target. Honestly, I did forget something. Not that I didn't go to Target when I was in LA. But there's nothing more annoying than not having your stuff with you and then having to go buy it when you get to your destination. So, yeah. But I didn't like, it was an older suitcase and the wheels don't work as well, and I'm sort of spoiled because my other one has 4 wheels. And I mean, it's amazing though, because I'm a girl. You gotta think, thank God I don't cosplay, because then I would always have to check my bags because I can't imagine fitting cosplay and regular street clothes in luggage that doesn't have to get checked. 1 quart bag, no more than, yeah, exactly. So I bought little 3-ounce empty spray bottles for my hair stuff. Good to know. Honey is considered a liquid. That's the other thing that would suck. if you think you've got, and then you get to the gate and they're like, and you bought it and they're like, nope, nope, nope. Yeah. So that's honestly, that's one reason that it's worth checking a bag. Like when I go to Vegas, actually when I go to Vegas, I'm hoping I'm going to be able to upgrade to first class because I have the points. And then you get free checked bags, and then I will just be very, 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 very happy. Because my other problem too is by the time I'm ready to leave, no matter how light I think I pack, I'm always overweight on the way home. I am always the I'm always overweight on the way home. I bought something while I was in Vegas and they offered to ship it home for me, and I'm like, no, it's fine, I'll take it. And then I really regretted saying that because I was a wreck packing to come home from Vegas because I swore I wasn't going to be able to fit everything, and it was too late to go anywhere to get anything shipped. And then Wendy offered to take it for me, and I'm like, no. I'm like, I just basically had to bring it home without the box that it came in because the box would have killed me. What? I really had to throw it. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. That's the one life hack for a convention. Most convention centers, and again, Lasso, my dear, if you're out there, you can answer this because you've been to McCormick Place and I've never have. But it has been my experience, both in Las Vegas and in Philadelphia, that convention centers have shipping. They have a FedEx or a UPS store somewhere on the property. So if you want to buy something that you really, 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 just make sure you have some money to ship it to yourself. Ship it. You know, because it's a pricey answer, but it's probably less pricey to ship it home to yourself than to worry about your luggage being overweight, because that's just the worst. Traveling as a cosplayer is a pain. Book on an airline that allows one checked bag at no cost. You know what? That's what I used to love about Southwest. But their prices are pretty much up there with other airlines, and it seems like they've gotten really bad about nonstops. Like it's so rare to find a nonstop anywhere that I want to go on Southwest. But that is one thing I use. That and the drink tickets used to be able to get. But they don't serve alcohol anymore, or at least for now, in main cabin, which I totally get. I absolutely 100% totally get. So I am incredibly excited about Chicago, as I've been saying. I don't know. Okay. Lasso, there you are, my friend. I don't remember seeing that, but I know you can check suitcases even at McCormick. It's more expensive than coat check. Oh, that's an interesting. Yeah, check your suitcases. That's interesting. Oh, Frontier. Yeah, I actually flew Frontier back from Nashville. Do you do that? I don't fly enough to qualify for that. What do they call it? Fair Den thing. Spirit's got one, and they've got one that, but they're merged now. One of them bought out the other, so it's going to be Fly the Spirit Frontier or whatever. They're not terrible. The seats are smaller. But yeah, they're not terrible, but they really do get you with the extras, unless you're part of the frequent flyer thing that they have, which if I flew more would have been worth it. But again, that's the other thing. Spirit and Frontier are really hard to find direct flights anywhere that I go. So, and I just not big on stopping. It's scary to stop. I've gotten screwed over too many times with layovers. There was the one time I was going to Nashville. Last time I remember this. There was one time I was going to Nashville, and I didn't have a choice. I was flying Delta because it was a late decision, so it was hard for me to find a flight. But I did find one, and it stopped in Atlanta, and that's Delta's hub. So even though I was switching from one Delta to another, I had to go to a completely different terminal. I was worried that the monorail was going to take too long, so I ran. And that was really funny because I got on the plane, and then one row in front of me, somebody also who didn't get a nonstop flight, and she flew in. She landed in Atlanta from Louisiana, my friend Melissa. Melissa and I actually sat a row apart from each other on this flight. It was really funny because the last thing I ever expected to do was run into somebody on a plane in Atlanta, of all places. Then there was the time I was late getting to my first STLV because got into Chicago. Was it Chicago? Flew into Chicago perfectly and then got stuck on the tarmac for over 2 hours because they were placing a part. That's also when I fly on my birthday. Two things I will not do if I absolutely don't have to is A, fly on my birthday, and B, fly with a stopover. Because the 2 times I flew on my birthday had issues both times. And the second time I flew on my birthday, it was flying on my birthday, and it was because I was stuck in Chicago. I had to change it in Atlanta when I went to see Melissa. Oh, we love Melissa. Melissa's one of our country music buds. But yeah, it's just the weirdest thing. I like made it to the gate just in time to get on the plane, and yeah, I don't ever want to do that again. So again, and whenever I fly, and I would rather fly. Some people who fly like cross country might want to get off the plane and stretch their legs for a little bit. Nope, I want to get on the plane and I just want to get where I'm going. Also got held over in Dallas. The only time I was ever in Texas was sitting in the airport. That was also a big clusterfuck, and I got in hours and hours. I was supposed to have dinner with people, and I got in. It was like 11 o'clock at night, Vegas time, by the time I got there. So it was like 3 a.m. for me by the time I landed. So I do have a direct flight into O'Hare going both ways. I'm really, like I said, I am just so incredibly excited to see Chicago. Lasso, I wish you were going to be able to make it up to Chicago, but I know that's not going to work. We talked about it. Would have loved to have seen you this weekend. But it's a little bit more of a hike than I thought it was. I thought Lasso lived closer. Could have gone to your first Star Trek convention with me, but that's okay. The other scuttlebutt is that ReedPop's going to move it around, so it's not going to be in Chicago next year. It's going to be like their Star Wars one. It's going to be somewhere different every year. Let's see. When you were in Dallas, did you see J.R. Maselli, and Bobby and Pam? I did not. I saw the inside of the airport, and literally just my gate. Didn't really go too far from the gate. I think I ended up watching Doctor Who episodes on my computer. That's how long of a wait it was. Yes, please always give food recommendations. I will take food recommendations for Chicago. I'm assuming eating in the airport is not one of them. So listen, guys, like I said, I keep watching time ticking away, thinking of all the time that I'm here talking to you, which I absolutely love talking to y'all, but it's also time I could be spending packing, which is not what I'm going to do when I get done here. But as for next week's show, next Monday is a travel day for me, and this is when I'm coming home from the convention. God knows I am probably not going to have a voice. I haven't decided what I'm going to do for you guys. Maybe I will actually have a chance to put some live stuff together from the convention better than the stuff that I decided not to show you from Gallifrey. But we will see. Pack when we talk. You guys don't want to watch me pack. Besides, it would screw up this beautiful background. It was a nice idea, though. Thank you, Robert. Thank you so much. Yes, you will see me live in a couple of weeks. Like I said, I'm going to try and put something together for you guys. I just can't make any promises of what it's going to be, but hopefully it will be something fun. Don't forget, call Q. If you miss me, just... Oh, Jean, thank you so much for showing up just in time for me to say so long. Farewell, Auf Wiedersehen. If you like the hat, which why wouldn't you like the hat? The hat is awesome. And you can find the hat here, punkarmy.net. My friend Raymond put this together for me. It's absolutely adorable. And you can find the hat here. All of my other merchandise, t-shirts, gaiters, all sweatshirts, all of that is there. So you can head over to either of those two places. The hat, because hats on Teespring were a pain in the ass, so Raymond just put this together for me. So head over to Punk Army, grab the hat, or head over to Teespring and buy something to go with the hat. And as always, I would love it if you guys wanted to become a patron like Robert and Word Dog and Mohammed. You would be an excellent, excellent, excellent company. Mohammed, I am so looking forward to it. I will see you soon. Jean, again, thank you so much for stopping by. Real quick, I am not going to be live next week, so everybody gets a break. They don't have to be here at 10 o'clock because I'm not going to be live. Again, thank you all so much, guys. Have a great couple of weeks. Take care of yourselves. Stay warm wherever you are because the weather is absolutely freaking ridiculous. And as always, live long and prosper.
This is Nicole DeBoer, and you've been listening to the NX7062 podcast.